Good morning. Well, I say morning, it's 11 o'clock, it's nearly lunchtime. I thought I'd pull out the old template that I used to use on DTube, just as a bit of a nostalgia thing this morning. Really interesting morning this morning that I wanted to quickly do a little vlog about being in the right place at the right time and trying to work out why certain people seem to notice it and chase after it, and certain other people just like ignore it or wait until it's big enough. Like, I think a lot of people will only reinvest in Bitcoin when it gets over the highest all-time high that it used to be. I think to a lot of people who maybe invested 500 bucks or 1,000 bucks here and there, they've probably lost money on it and that's it. They're never going to touch it again and actually think it's probably dead to them. Whereas I think once it does get to that all-time high again, people will be like, oh, now I'm interested again. And obviously by then it's too late. You've not watched the journey of something. And I'm trying to work out what that's about. I'll give you a perfect example of it. I've been using DTube now, like the rest of us regulars who use it here on a daily or a couple of times a week basis. I've been using it now a couple of years. And it was one of the main parts of blogging on an immutable blockchain that I really enjoyed, was the idea that video would become the commonality, would be the common kind of posting ability instead of just text. And that didn't really happen. I was really surprised about that, because one of the very early video sites that I used to use was a thing called Seismic, and it had 100 dedicated video users. And it felt like even though not everybody got on, there was a fair percentage, I would say 60 or 70% of people who were video creators, wanted to have a conversation, wanted to have a debate, wanted to have a dialogue. And it had no crypto or anything. It was actually really clunky. It ran on Flash, and surprised it worked at all actually, and the video quality was terrible. But it was this shared moment with all these 100 people that will make up the legacy of life. Some of those people went off to do incredible things. Some of those people are still, posting in some way on Facebook today. A lot of them are living in LA, settled down with families. I still keep up with some of them even 10 years later. So that's kind of crazy. You have like this what in terms of internet sense is like a blink of a moment on the internet, but to you it's like everything. It's like your roots. It's where you came from and where you are today. So I wanted to have a quick chat about this, because this morning I woke up and I pulled out my tablet and pulled up the Uniswap page for the wrapped DTube token, and it was $1.02. And I was like, holy shit, it's jumped from like 60 cents to like $1 overnight. Now, I have no idea, maybe it's some kind of wash trading, or like somebody's discovered it, or somebody's talked about it somewhere who's got a big following. People are pumping in ETH, taking out their DTube, pumping in ETH, vice versa, back and forth. But now it's dropped back down to 68 cents. So I sold some of my DTC this morning to cover my leader hosting for the whole year. I took some out the other day. I took out a bit of a test amount. I think it's like 100 and something. I can't remember what it was. But I paid for my hosting for the next 6 months. So I've loaded credit now into my server balance for my leader for the next year. So I don't have to worry about that for another year, which is cool, because it feels like, A, I'm supporting the infrastructure by creating blocks and securing the network, but also it's not a bill. It's not like something I have to find every month, a bit like a mobile bill or something like that. So that's awesome. I feel like the time that I've invested in the platform, doing videos, communicating, engaging, talking back to people, like, it feels like a big payoff. But it got me thinking, like, what is the disconnect from people who are not creators to get them into this kind of stuff on the web? Like, I started, for the first time, I actually started using TikTok and have a look around on TikTok. And I've got to say, TikTok is different today than it was a year ago. What I've noticed on TikTok, apart from, the people doing the choreographed dances who seem to have millions of people following them, the fashionistas and the Instagrammers, there's also a collective of people that are creating incredible high value video content in 60 seconds that has a intellectual payoff by the end of the video. So within 60 seconds you've learned something completely new. Like, I watched this channel last night that just concentrates on Excel, and they were like, need to do this and do this, then all you need to do is this, and they walked you through it. And there was no call to action about go to my website and buy my course or anything. It was just like, here's some information, here's some facts, here's some authenticity, take it, learn it, make your life better. And that's happened in a year. Like, people have realized that actually the highest volume of getting people to follow you is when you give them something and don't ask for anything. Now, I've known that for a very, very long time. I think a lot of people in crypto, in terms of content creation, have known that for a very long time. If you've got a skill or a talent or an ability and you can save people time, then people are going to watch it, subscribe to it, and want more of it. But I'm trying to work out why people don't stay the course. Like, why is it that people wait until Bitcoin is back over a certain amount before they get into it? Why don't they follow the journey? Why have we got this like almost short-term memory loss when it comes to storing information? I feel like if more people were more engaged and more focused on something, and stayed the course, stayed around. Yeah, okay, something might be incredibly low. You know, like I'm using this, like playing this game, this crypto brewery thing. It's not worth anything. I've got like 3,000 CBM. It's not worth it. It's worth about $21. But it's about supporting the vision of the creator of that application. He wants to make a game. He wants to make a blockchain game. He's using JSON transactions on the blockchain to verify things happening in the game. That's unprecedented. We've never had a public system like that, like a public database where you can store little bits of information that you can then use to pull out and extract and know that that database is secure, because there's thousands of other people, thousands of other projects that need that database to be up. So they're going to work really hard to make sure their server's up. It's not like one company, one database. It's like 1,000 companies looking after one database. So then everybody's invested, everybody's incentivized to keep the thing running. And that's how I feel about DTube, is that forget the crypto money side of it for a minute, which obviously it feels good to be empowered by the chain or to earn some DTC that you can then flip into something else. Like, for instance, flipping the energy of it to be like, oh, I post here every day and now I know my leader server is secured. You know, that's a really nice feeling to have gone the course to do that. So I think there's some crossovers, right? I think TikTok is incredibly powerful in terms of, you know, that whole idea of somebody can be famous for 15 milliseconds. Like, in TikTok, it seems to be that algorithm empowers that kind of virality. It's definitely somewhere we are leaving digital audience engagement on the table for DTube. We should definitely be doing more stuff on DTube. I think I might set up a little 60-second channel of how to use DTube and why DTube's important. And maybe we have a shared account on there, so we all contribute videos so people can see it's not just one type of geek over there. There's like girls, boys, like everybody here. And maybe do some like 60-second tutorial things, because I definitely feel like there's a crossover there. So yeah, I think time and a place, you know, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you're in the right place at the right time. But I think with the world of blockchain, if you stay focused enough and you stay engaged enough and you read the tea leaves of what's happening enough, then you can follow it through and you can effectively live your life through digital nowadays. Like, if the pandemic has taught me anything, is that we've accelerated all of these digital ideas that we thought would work if we had the right amount of people using them. And you only have to look at like delivery services. Delivery services are struggling under the sheer load of it. You can't book a slot for delivery on these services because they don't have enough drivers and they don't have enough vans. And we're just like on the edge of electrification as well, and hydrogen transportation. So we're trying to do that cleaner than what we're doing it currently. So it accelerates everything. Everything kind of accelerates. I don't know. I'm really excited about where things are at the minute. Even though we're in the middle of a pandemic, even though coronavirus is everywhere, even where there's injustice and disparity and balance in the world is everywhere, I do feel like a lot of this stuff has the potential to make us better people, because it helps us organize our time. It makes us understand what value is, what our value is in the world, how we can contribute back, and not just be a bunch of marketers, you know, flipping stuff, just literally having the idea of something that you want to build and chasing it down and building a community around that. And I think DTube has done that incredibly well compared to something like Steem and Hive. Is they've looked at all the other problems out there with blockchain and gone, okay, how do we add like a game theory to this token? How do we make it so that it's not just about dumping it? How do we make it so that we can get engagement to be important in the system? And I hope we're on the edge of something really accelerating in the next 6 months. I would definitely say to anybody who's into video right now, who's getting demonetized from YouTube, have their videos knocked off, or fed up of DMCA on Twitch, get yourself a DTube account and just give it 6 months. Just 6 months. Just take some of that AdSense money, put it into DTC, and just try it for 6 months. Because you'll never know otherwise. And it's the journey of those 6 months, getting to know people, watching other people's videos, learning from those things. It's not just like, oh, this is doing well now, I'll jump into it now. It's like you have to stay the course, you have to stay for the journey. I don't know where I was going with that this morning, but I just wanted to get it off my chest. Time for coffee number 2. Let's go.
Drifting slowly into an empty space where I can go. I'm just a